Hi guys. So it's pretty noisy here. So if you guys hear anything, just don't mind it, okay? I hope it doesn't distract you guys. But I want to just say something to you guys. Like as I was like literally going somewhere, I was just thinking about the service that I went to at church yesterday. And if you guys didn't see that service, look at the community post. The link is in the description. Not description. The link is on the community post and you can watch yesterday's service. But we had a pastor come in and he talked to us about thanking God and just being happy and just thanking God for what we have and what's going on in our lives and stuff. And you know, it's crazy. When I was on my way somewhere today, I was literally talking to God about this, and I forgot that I heard the same thing in service yesterday. I'm like, wait, this is what I heard in service yesterday. And I just want to say to you guys, I know sometimes the battles on the physical, it's more than you know you can endure. And I just want to say something. The battles in the spiritual are more than meets the eye. Like there's things that you don't even know and that you can't even see. And sometimes the warfare gets intense. And I know sometimes when you guys go through warfare, sometimes you do get a little bit discouraged and you don't want to pray. And sometimes you do feel like fasting and praying is pointless. It's like, what am I getting out of this? And then some of you guys are like, well, you know, sometimes you're probably a little bit upset with God, and I know a lot of people are gonna say, hey, that's wrong, but it happens. People do get discouraged and they do get upset with God because they're like, God, why are you allowing the devil to attack me? Why are you allowing people to attack me? Why can't you do something about it? But I remember I told you guys in the past that God allows our enemies to do certain things because it is according to his plan. It's according to his will. Before you were even born, he formed you. He knew you before you were born. His will was already mapped out before you were born. So you have to remember that every obstacle that's happening, he already expected it to happen. It's a part of the plan. It's to make you stronger. It's so you can have a testimony, because there's no testimony without a test, right? But I also want to say this. I want you to understand that the battles in the spiritual world are more than meets the eye. It's more than you can even understand. And the Lord does go hard for us in the spiritual realm. And a lot of times we're so focused on what we don't have physically, we forget how hard God is really fighting for us in the spiritual. And what people don't understand is if God wasn't fighting for you, you wouldn't be here right now. So I just want to tell you guys, don't forget that. And every time you feel discouraged and you get a little bit frustrated with God, just remember something. He's fighting hard for you. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to give you an example. It's like, imagine like, I don't even know what type of example to give you, but I'm just going to use like, you know, imagine a boxer or someone, a boxer training in the rink or something like that, like boxing in the rink, and they train night and day. They're like fighting night and day. They're training. And then you go and you fight, and then it's easy for the crowd to get mad at the boxer who they're rooting for to not swing at that time or to not punch at that specific time. You ever watch, like, you know, even like sports, you ever watch sports and they're like, the people are like, come on, why would you kick the ball there? Why would you throw the ball to him? And people are literally shouting at the TV or at the game. They're shouting at the players, telling them what to do and how to throw the ball and what to do. Or even in the boxing ring, you know, yelling at the boxer and saying, how could you do that punch? It's easy for everybody on the external, on the outside, to, you know, to tell these individuals what to do and how to fight and how to do all that. But these people are not the ones in the moment fighting it. Do you see what I'm saying? So they're not going to understand how hard it is to get that swing or to do that swing. I'm not saying it's hard for God. No, I'm just using it as an example because people are not going to understand that. It's a lot easier when you're on the outside telling someone what to do than when you're actually in the fight or you're actually in that sport, right? And then on top of that, some people will sit there and be like, oh, that boxer's weak, or that basketball player is weak, or, you know, they should trade him or trade her or whatever, and not realizing how much training had to happen before they even went in. And that person that's calling them weak, or that person that's telling them how to swing or what to do or how to throw the ball, how to kick the ball, they wouldn't even last 10 minutes in that training. You get it? So obviously God is stronger than any basketball or boxing. No, obviously, you know. But what I'm trying to say is it's easy for us to get frustrated with God when we're going through a little bit of physical attacks or when we go through obstacles. It's easy for us to get upset at God, or it's easy for us to tell God, God, why can't you do this? God, why can't you do that? God, you know, cover me tonight. Cover me. It's easy for us to say that. And when we experience a little bit of stuff, or we experience the warfare, we get frustrated, not realizing that the battle behind the scene was 10 times harder than what we could imagine. And God actually fought that. The reason why you forgot your keys at home was because had you went in that car before God wanted you to go in that car, you would have got into a car accident. So God made you leave your keys at home so you couldn't get in the car and go in the car. But you're walking in the house and you're complaining how you're late for work and you're kissing your teeth and you're mad, not realizing God just saved your life. Had you left the time you wanted to leave, you would have been late. I just had an interruption. Yeah, but had you left the time you wanted to leave, guess what would have happened? You probably would have got into that car accident. There was one time, I remember I told you guys this story, for those who've been watching me. There was one time on New Year's, I wanted to go to this New Year's party, and I dropped charcoal, activated charcoal, all over my bathroom floor. And God didn't want me to go at the time, right? But I was cussing at myself, yelling at myself. And this was years ago. I was mad at myself. It took me a long time to clean it. So I was late to the party. But had I went when I wanted to go, I probably would have gone to the car accident. Because when I went on the highway, actually before I went on the highway, I had a vision of a car accident. Sometimes God is saving us from something that's 10 times worse than what we could imagine. So that little kick that you just got, or that the attempts that kept you feeling weak, or not being able to wake up, the nausea, you get what I'm saying? Or not being able to make it to work because of that warfare, or whatever. Whatever God literally fought off probably would have took you out. You see what I'm saying? So I just want to say that. Remember, guys, like, I know it gets hard, but don't forget, in the midst of all this stuff, don't forget to thank God and really just show him how much you appreciate him, because I'm telling you right now, God is really going in for us. Okay, he's fighting. Okay, love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.